Bonjour, hi. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Erika Lockwood, president of the St. Pat Society. As you all know, in the past, St. Pat Society exists and has grown into what it is today due to social gatherings. What was once a march of flags after Sunday Mass, now in Richmond has become the second largest parade in all of Quebec. Over 10,000 people gather to watch or participate. Traditional banquets, which now, alongside with the Historical Society, have become kitchen parties, including exquisite foods served all evening while being entertained by live local talent. Traditional corned beef suppers, home-cooked brunches, and Irish flags hung up proudly exposed throughout town. Everyone in Richmond is Irish the whole month of March. Now that's what I think of when I think of St. Pat's. But unfortunately, after being caught off guard last year and again this year, and with the virus still present, St. Pat's had to rethink their approach. So this year, we're asking people to continue to be proud, to be festive, and to be Irish. Pull out the green hats, the pub t-shirts, the funky socks, even the green wigs. We want glitter and lights, music, dancing, and parading. So whether it's memories from the past or new pictures and videos, please share them with us. Send them to our St. Pat's Facebook page, and Julie O'Donnell, our vice president, will gladly share them for all to see. And I know for a fact, everyone in Richmond and the vicinities has an official St. Pat's kit. So please share it with us to continue the St. Pat's tradition in a different way this year. Also, with the partnership of the Historical Society, an Irish Heritage Festival has been prepared, which will take place March 13th till the 20th. The festival will be completely online and free of charge, including concerts, readings, cooking lessons, and children's storytelling. Truly, a little something for everyone to enjoy. Again, a huge thank you to the Irish Heritage Festival Committee to have worked so hard in adjusting to this year's new health guidelines. And let's hope we can return to a more traditional St. Pat's next year. Have a good festival. Bonjour. La popularité de la Saint-Patrick à Richmond a grossi dû aux gens qui se rassemblent et réunissent. Au tout début, la parade était une simple marche de drapeau après la messe du dimanche. Et aujourd'hui, cette tradition à Richmond est devenue la deuxième plus grosse parade à travers le Québec, attirant plus de 10 000 personnes. Et comment oublier les banquets traditionnels qui sont devenus des kitchen parties conçus de des amuse-gueules servis tout au long de la soirée en écoutant de la musique traditionnelle composée par des artistes locaux. Il y a aussi nos soupers de corned beef, les brunchs, et comment peut-on oublier les décorations et drapeaux que l'on voit partout en ville. Peu importe les racines, c'est clair, tout le monde a un côté irlandais à Richmond. Mais, malheureusement, dû au virus et les restrictions Santé Canada, la Société Saint-Patrick a dû changer ses méthodes cette année. Tout en gardant la tradition festive, on vous invite à sortir vos chapeaux verts, vos chandails, vos colliers, vos macarons et même ceux qui ont des perruques vertes. On veut voir du brillant, des lumières, des costumes. On vous invite à danser, chanter et même parader. Envoyez-nous vos photos et vos vidéos via Facebook et notre vice-présidente Julie O'Donnell lui fera plaisir de partager avec tout le monde. Je sais que tout le monde à Richmond et les alentours a un petit kit de la Saint-Patrick. Alors sortez-le et aidez-nous à garder la tradition vivante cette année. Ainsi, avec le partenariat de la Société Saint-Patrick avec la Société historique, un festival d'héritage irlandais a été conçu. Il sera accessible entièrement gratuit en ligne. Le festival aura lieu du 13 au 20 mars avec plusieurs artistes offrant des concerts, des lectures, des cours de cuisine ainsi que des comptines pour les enfants. J'aimerais remercier tout le beau travail à se réajuster aux nouveaux normes présentement. Je souhaite à tout le monde une bonne Saint-Patrick et j'espère tout vous revoir l'année prochaine avec nos conditions traditionnelles qu'on connaît plus. Merci et bon festival.
Greetings, Paul O'Donnell from the St.Patrick Society of Richmond and vicinity. Welcome to the Memorial Park of Richmond. A historic site actually, because this is a junction for the road from Quebec City to the United States. The Craig Road from Montreal to Richmond from Quebec to Richmond on land, and then from there south on the St. Francis River towards the United States. So in this park, what I've been asked to speak to you about is the Celtic Cross. In 1877, the St. Patrick Society was founded. Fast forward to 2002, our 125th anniversary, we wanted to do something memorable. So the project was to erect a Celtic cross to honor the Celts of our area. So, on the base of the cross itself, we have in 3 languages, in honor of the Celts who settled in Richmond and vicinity. So we have that in English, we have it in French, and we also have it in Gaelic. Our project was to honor our Celtic people that settled here. The Celts are as we have them described here, in honor of the Celts, the thistle for the Scots, the rose for the Britons, the daffodil for the Welsh, and of course the shamrock for the Irish. So in this project, we decided on a granite stone from Stansted, measured about 8 feet, and on the base we had 1 plaque with the names of the families that supported the project, and 2 years later, we added another plaque since the project was so successful. Other people wanted to partake. 2017, something horrible happened. The plaques disappeared. Now, they had an emergency meeting with the St. Patrick's committee. Bob Dalton was asked because he'd come and with us and check things out, and apparently, according to Bob and Kay Lynch and several other people, it would have been leprechauns that would have taken the plaques. There's no other reason than that. Now, people that are not familiar with leprechauns, little people, little bit, have a little nasty side on them. And what they usually do is they'll take something and steal it and bring it to the end of the rainbow, and that's where they hide it. So anyways, Kay, Bob, thanks for that information. 2020, we found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Thanks to Laurent Hubert of Violon, a consulting and marketing company, and Usinatech Inc., a machining company, have done the Celtic Cross for us. Laurent did the design work for the plaques, and Usinatech have engraved the plaque and also supplied the material for the plaque. So a huge thank you for those people. We'll show you the plaque in a moment. Anyways, I have to just say that that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Bonjour, Paul O'Donnell pour la Société St-Patrick et les environs. Je vais vous parler de la croix celtique qui est dans le parc de souvenirs à Richmond. En partant, la Société St-Patrick a été fondée en 1877. Si on avance à 2002, pour fêter nos 125e anniversaire, on a décidé de faire une croix celtique pour honorer les ancêtres celtiques. Ça se trouve à être les Écossais, les Gallois et les Bretagnes et Irlandais comme de raison. La croix elle-même est en granit qui vient de Stansted. Et la base du monument est une base avec une plaque en bronze pour la première année, et après ça, dans 2 ans après, on a rajouté une autre plaque. Sur la plaque, sur les 2 plaques, je dois dire, il y a plus que 200 noms de familles qui ont contribué pour notre projet. Oui, en 2017, les plaques ont disparu. Donc, on n'a jamais pu savoir où que les plaques bronzes se sont trouvées. Mais bravo à 2020, grâce à IVOA, l'entreprise de Laurent Hubert, qui est une entreprise de communication et marketing, et Usinatech Inc., compagnie de machinistes de haute précision, nous a trouvé les plaques. Laurent Hubert a fait la conception de la plaque, et Usinatech a fait les gravures pour les plaques, et nous a donné le matériel des plaques. Donc, un gros merci à ces gens-là pour leurs œuvres.
Between 1851 and 1854, the railway was the most important factor in the growth and development of Richmond and vicinity. The St. Lawrence and Adank Railway built the first station approximately 1 mile south of the location of the actual station. There is much speculation as to why the station was relocated to where it is today. In the same era, the Quebec-Richmond Railway construction was underway. In 1856, Grand Trunk Railway took over both the St. Lawrence and Adank Railway and the Quebec-Richmond Railway. The present station built by the Grand Trunk Railway in 1912 is in replacement of the predecessor destroyed by fire. In 1923, Grand Trunk Railway merged into Canadian National Railways. The station once housed lodging for crews, train dispatching offices, ticket agents, telegraph operators, track supervisors, track maintenance employees, as well as transportation officers. In 1998, CN sold the line from St. Rosalie, Quebec to Auburn, Maine, to the St. Lawrence and Atlantic Railway. So as you can see, the railway has gone one full circle back to the original name. The station today is privately owned and operated as a restaurant and motel. On behalf of the Richmond St-Patrick Society, Slancha. Entre 1851 et 1854, le chemin de fer a eu une incidence majeure dans le développement de la ville de Richmond et des environs. La compagnie chemin de fer Saint-Laurent-Atlantique construit la première gare à environ 1 mile au sud de l'endroit de la gare actuelle. Il y a beaucoup de spéculations au sujet de la relocalisation de la gare à son lieu actuel. À la même époque, le chemin de fer Québec-Richmond était en construction. En 1856, le chemin de fer du Grand Tronc a pris possession des compagnies Saint-Laurent-Atlantique et Québec-Richmond. La présente gare a été construite par le chemin de fer du Grand Tronc en 1912 suite à un incendie qui a détruit la gare précédente. En 1923, le chemin de fer canadien national a intégré le Grand Tronc à son réseau. Au fil des ans, la gare a jadis servi de maison de repos aux équipes de train, les bureaux de contrôleurs de circulation ferroviaire, billetterie, télégraphistes, superviseurs de la voie, employés à l'entretien de la voie, ainsi qu'aux superviseurs du transport. En 1998, le CN a vendu la ligne entre Sainte-Rosalie, Québec et Auburn, Maine à la compagnie Saint-Laurent et Atlantique. Comme vous pouvez le constater, le chemin de fer est revenu à son nom d'origine. La gare aujourd'hui appartient à des intérêts locaux et abrite un motel ainsi qu'un restaurant. De la part de la Société Saint-Patrick de Richmond, Slancha.
day, Kadimara Tatu. We are France Thibault and Laurent Hubert from the Eastern Townships. We are honored to celebrate with you. Thank you so much to the Irish Heritage Festival in Richmond for organizing this event. Our music inspiration comes from Ireland and also Cape Breton, especially the piano, which is widely used in Cape Breton and less used in Ireland. But a good example of the use of piano in Ireland is Matt McGrath. For the banjos, the group Dubliners was actually the first group to use them on stage. They used the 5-string banjo and the 4-string banjo, which is more like traditional in Ireland now. The banjos are originally from the United States. So we share with you some favorites of ours and bring back good memories. So the next 2 songs, the first one is from the Irish Rovers, it's Mountain Dew. And the second one is a children's song, Tell Me Ma. That rail stuff that's made near Galway Bay. The policeman from Donegal, Sligo and Leitrim too. Well, we'll give them a slip and we'll take a little sip of the good old Mountain Dew. Oh, the squeal lady dum, da the squeal lady day, da the squeal lie do lie day. Da the squeal lady dum, da the squeal lady day, da the squeal lie do lie day. Da the squeal lady dum, da the squeal lady day, da the squeal lie do lie day. Da the squeal lady dum, da the squeal lady day, da the squeal lie do lie day. The hill, there's a neat little still where the smoke goes up till the sky. By the whiff of the smell you can plainly tell there's pointing boys close by. For it fills the air with perfume rare between both me and you. Oh, as on we go and we'll take a little barrel in a vodka Mountain Dew. Oh, the squeal lady dum, da the squeal lady day, da the squeal lie do lie day. Da the squeal lady dum, da the squeal lady day, da the squeal lie do lie day. Oh, squeal lady dum, da the squeal lady day, da the squeal lie do lie day. Da the squeal lady dum, da the squeal lady day, da the squeal lie do lie day. Oh. Tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boss won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they steal my comb, but that's alright till I get home. She's handsome, she's pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her, and all the boys are fighting for her. Knock on the door and ring the bell, oh my true love, are you well? Out she comes, white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Old Jenny Murphy says she'll die if she doesn't get a fellow with a roving eye. Tell me, Mom, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair and they still might come, but that's alright till I get home. She's handsome, she's pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Let the wind, the hail, the rain go by, snow comes tumbling from the sky. She's as nice as apple pie, she'll get a fellow by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell her ma till she gets home. Let them all come as they will, it's Albert Mooney she loves still. And tell me, Mom, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they still might come, but that's alright till I get home. She's handsome, she's pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? She's handsome, she's pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's counting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? We'll now listen to a very, very lovely melody. It's called Eleanor Plunkett by the composer Turaloo O'Carolan. This Irish musician lived in the early 1700s. He was a blind harpist. He was quite famous as a composer, and he toured in Ireland and the British Islands. His music is still alive and performed still today. There are music camps that teach his music, his compositions. So now we're going to interpret Eleanor Plunkett by Turaloo O'Carolan.
This is a presentation for the St. Pat's Society's 2021 COVID celebration. The Richmond area was first settled from the Drummondville military settlement. The military garrison in Drummondville was staffed by many Scottish and Irish soldiers, majority Protestant, but also Catholics, veterans of the Napoleonic Wars in Europe and the War of 1812. It was to provide and protect a buffer between the St. Lawrence River settlements and the American border. There were very few people, settlers in the area at the time. Upon the disbanding of the garrison in 1815, the soldiers were offered land near Drummondville, which they found to be either too sandy or too marshy for good farming, so they moved upriver towards Richmond. It wasn't until the land reforms of the 1850s that absentee landlords were forced to pay taxes, which would help build the roads and country schools of the area. The country school was generally open to all genders, religions, and languages, depending on one's neighbors. They would usually offer grades 1 to 6. Any student who wanted or was able to continue schooling must either be in walking distance of town or board away. It was the arrival of the railway connection from Montreal to Quebec and Portland, Maine in 1850 that triggered a rapid expansion of Richmond and gave greater access to the markets for agriculture, forestry, and mine produce from the surrounding areas. In 1852, there were 2 Irish to 1 French settler. By 1870, there were 2 Irish to 3 French Canadians, although the English-speaking community, English, Irish, Scottish, Welsh, Protestant, and Catholic, remained 60% of the population for decades. Many had arrived as Gaelic speakers, but in a short time had adopted English as the common language. It was into this growing community that the bilingual Patrick Quinn arrived in 1862. Most of Richmond's Irish settlers either arrived before the famine or after. Patrick was one of the few famine orphans who made his home here. He was eternally grateful to his adopted French-Canadian family in Nicolette, where he was educated in French. He would have a great influence on this community. The rapidly growing Irish and French Catholic population soon outgrew the first Ste-Bibiane, a little wooden church, which was on the same site as the current church, and the first one had been a chapel on Brent Hill, now along the 116. Father Patrick Quinn and James Murphy, the railroad superintendent, both of whom had led to the birth of the St. Patrick's Literary and Benevolent Society in 1877, began the planning for the third St. Vivian Church, which opened in 1880. The decorative painting followed, and a cassava organ was added in 1902. As the population continued to grow, the Little Red Schoolhouse was filled to the overflowing with students. The Brothers of the Sacred Heart were invited to Richmond to see to the opening of a school for boys in 1882, first on Main Street, which later moved to Gouin Street, and later than that became St. Michael's Elementary School. That building was just demolished this past fall. In 1883, at the request of parents, James Murphy, now also chairman of the Catholic School Commission, and Patrick Quinn, guided the construction of their next project. Richmond must have been a hive of activity with huge construction crews, for in September 1884, only 18 months from the beginning of it, Mount St. Patrick Convent School was completed. It opened with 100 day and 22 boarding students, majority English-speaking. Within 5 years, however, it was majority French-speaking. The building contained classrooms, kitchens, laundry room, dormitory, chapel, and theater, as well as a garden which the students were expected to work in. The convent acquired a reputation for good education, provided for by both English and French-speaking sisters of the Congregation of Notre Dame, and they taught separate English and French classes, whereas the brother school taught bilingual classes. The convent taught the regular curriculum as well as music, drawing, and it offered a teaching certificate. In 1902, a commercial course was added, and the first typewriter was purchased. Mount St. Patrick was visited twice by Governor-Generals of Canada, once in 1921 and again in 1930. In 1918, the school was advised to close because of the Spanish flu pandemic, something similar to today, although much more deadly, which the Mother Superior refused to do. But no student was ill or died of that devastating disease. Over the years, 3 additions were built on. In 1964, when the boarding school was closed, it had housed and educated over 4,000 young women from 92 towns and thousands of Richmond's day students. In 1954, English-speaking boys were accepted into Mount St. Patrick, and for the first time, the 17th of March was no longer a school holiday. This was quickly followed by many changes in the Richmond school systems and the building of new schools. Mount St. Patrick finally closed in 1981 as now our St-Hilaire. So, the church was opened in 1880, the boys' school in 1882, the convent in 84, and in 1885, the final of these 3 red brick buildings, the presbytery, was completed. All 3 buildings were built of Richmond brick with cedar shingle roofs, but as soon as money was available, the shingles were replaced with slate from the Kingsbury quarries. The presbytery was a central meeting place for the regional parish priests and their assistants, as many communities were undergoing the same growth and many building projects. Father Quinn lived and died there after 50 years as parish priest of Ste-Bibiane. He did return to Ireland once, where nieces and nephews had survived the famine. One of his nieces returned to Canada with him, where she was a housekeeper for the presbytery for many years and lived across the street from the convent. It is extraordinary to think how, in 50 years, Richmond had gone from log cabins to these buildings around us. Sláinte.
Hi everyone, my name is Noémia Keenan-Crépeau and I grew up in Richmond. One of my summer jobs was as a tour guide at the Centre d'Interprétation de l'Ardoise, which is a museum which talks about the history of slate in the region. So the manufacturing of slate was a very important industry in the eastern townships up until about the early 1900s. And of course, notably in Richmond and Melbourne. In fact, between 1850 and 1875, there were dozens of quarries in Melbourne and Richmond, and they were considered amongst the richest in the country. Many of the old homes that are in the region still have those old slate roofs that are at least 100 years old, so it's a very lasting material, and this includes my childhood home. Melbourne slate roofing tiles were even used for the first Parliament building, and some of you may remember using slate boards in the classroom. The dozens of quarries provided work for the Irish, Welsh, and Scottish people that were settled here. Actually, both my great-great-grandfather and my great-uncle worked in the quarries. And my Aunt Patricia told me a story of my great-uncle, Dennis, who was injured while working in the quarries. So he was with 3 men in what they called a bucket, which was kind of like an elevator, which would bring the men down into the quarry. So this bucket was pulled by a rope, which was attached to a mule, and the mule would go back and forth. And the rope was on a pulley, and that day the rope must have fallen, and the bucket fell, and all 3 of the men were injured. And we think that my great-uncle fractured his spine because he was in bed for about 3 months and out of work. So if you would like some more stories or more information, you can always visit the museum, which is located in Melbourne, and it is in an old church, which was built in 1889, so there's more history there. And from all of us at the St. Patrick's Society, I just want to say Slante. Thank you.
So now I would really appreciate if you could sing along with us. We have chosen like 4 melodies. The first one is Molly Malone. Then it's Tooraloo Rely. Then it will be the very famous Irish Eyes. And we'll end this session, the first part here, with Royal Rover. So let's go with Molly Malone.
In Dublin, fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. She wears a wheelbarrow, through street broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, ho. Alive, alive, ho. Alive, alive, ho. Crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, ho. She was a fishmonger, and there was no wonder, for so were her father and mother before. They willed the wheelbarrow to straight road and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, ho. Alive, alive, ho. Alive, alive, ho. Crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, ho. She died of a fever, and no one can save her. And that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. A ghost with a barrow, through street broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, ho. Alive, alive, ho, alive, alive, ho, crying cockles and mussels. Alive, alive, ho, alive, alive, ho, alive, alive, ho, crying cockles and mussels. Alive, alive, ho. Hush now, don't you cry. Do-ra-do-ra-do-ah, do-ra-do-ra-dee, do-ra-do-ra-do-ah. That's an Irish lullaby. Do-ra-do-ra-do-ah, do-ra-do-ra-dee, do-ra-do-ra-do-ah. Hush now, don't you cry. Do-ra-do-ra-do-ah, do-ra-do-ra-dee, do-ra-do-ra-do-ah. That's an Irish lullaby. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like the morning spring. In the land of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, they steal your heart away.
All together now.
When Irish eyes are smiling, just as like the morning spring. In the land of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away.
So hang on, we're keeping going with Wild Rover. And don't forget to clap the three.
And it's no,
Nay, never.
No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover.
No,
never, no more. I've been the wild rover, how many is the year? And I spend all me money on whiskey and beer. And now I'm returning with golden crystal. I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I went to an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady me money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me
nay. Such customs as yours I could have every day.
And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. But from sovereign's bright, and the landlady's eyes open wide with delight. She says,
I have whiskeys and wines of the best, and the words that I told you were only in jest.
and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I go home to my parents, confess what I've done, and I ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And when they've caressed me as of times before, I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more.
No, never, no more will I play the wild rover. So sadly, it's near the end of our session. We're not yet done, though. So hope it brought you joy. And stay with us for some jigs that you could dance with the leprechauns. Never know when they're around. So we're going to play Out of the Ocean, Irish Washerwoman, of course, and some polka.
Welcome to one of the few remaining historical buildings left in the Richmond, Melbourne vicinity. The Town Hall of Melbourne was built in 1869 at a cost of $3,487.50 by a man named John Wood. Today, this building serves the community in the same capacity as it did then. The hall and the building are continually being upgraded and always in keeping with its original structure and characteristics as much as possible. One of the main features of this building is the hall on the second floor. It has been restored while maintaining its original structure and look. It's a popular venue for the locals to come and rent and use for events and community parties. The building was certainly a source of pride then, and it continues to be today. The community at the time had a population of 400. Today we're just over 1,000. And was served by 3 general stores, a schoolhouse, 1 tanner, a tailor, a watchmaker, 3 shoe shops, 1 tin shop, 2 doctors, the Stage House, which is situated just across the road from the town hall and stands today as a bed and breakfast. There are several temperance houses as well. The pioneers who came to this region were of American, New England descent. Scottish, Irish, and British are all here today. No matter what someone's ancestry, though, people all want to come out and celebrate the Irish heritage on St. Patrick's Day. On behalf of the Richmond St. Patrick Society, Slán sé.